Okay, we're apparently back again. Next up we have Shatterhand. This is probably my favorite NES game of all time. My best friend had this when we were kids, and his dad never let us play for more than an hour, so we never beat this game. So luckily, when I started to speedrun, I got the chance to finally beat this game and beat it good. But without further ado, let's just get into action. Okay, the first weird thing about this game is the very first enemy of the game, because at first he doesn't have a coin that he's carrying, but there's like, I think it's like a 2-frame window to punch him when you get close enough to him, and then for some reason he actually does have a coin. Yeah, enough about the coin guy. As you can probably hear, this game has, in my opinion, maybe like top 5 soundtracks on NES. Maybe objectively top 10, but the soundtrack is really banging in this game. So, well, let's get past the first boss, then I'll start explaining the mechanics. Let's see if I can get the quick kill on this guy. I had the setup, but my punching rhythm wasn't there. The first boss quick kill is the first ever strat that I found for any game that I ran, so always has a special place in my heart. Too bad I completely botched it. Yeah, the story of this game is that you're Steve Herman, a former police officer in a world that's full of cyborgs. And poor Steve was on a mission and had his arms destroyed by a bunch of cyborgs. So then a secret government organization came to his hospital bed and offered him a pair of cybernetic arms. And with his new pair of arms, Steve is now called codename Shatterhand, and he's using his fists to take down the whole criminal organization. So we have some pretty good NES plots going on once again. Classics. Normally I wouldn't pick up 2 letters in this stage, but I need to do a couple of safety strats, just so I don't waste too much time by failing. Yeah, speaking of the letters, this game has this letter system that lets you combine letters for a body robot friend. You have 8 different combinations, and most of them are complete trash. But in this speedrun we use 3 of the robots, so not all of them are trash. When I started running this game, there was only 1 robot that was used, so at least I introduced some more robots into the run, if nothing else. And as you might have noticed, well, if you didn't, you surely will know that this game features a gravity mechanic. It can be a bit of a pain to control, and a lot of people seem to hate it when they play this. I hate my current health situation. Luckily I had 300 more, so I can get back to full health. So This guy is the reason why no one speed runs this game. You can only punch him once when he is flying by and he gets knocked back. So what we need for him to do is this. We need him to use his Nova attack, and only then we can get multiple hits in. Pretty much the worst thing you can do in this fight is... okay, it was one hit off. But the worst thing you can do in this fight is punch him off screen. Then you can be certain that this fight will drag on for up to 3 minutes. I think 3 minutes is around the worst I've seen. But luckily this time around it was only like a minute. Also another feature in this game is the stage select screen, and you can pretty much choose whichever stage order you want, but because we do our letter grabbing things, we need to follow a certain order so we get to the final stage with the correct amount of letters. Hope this is a money bag. No, it's not. Need a certain amount of money to be able to safely get past this stage. Okay, so that's not a money bag either. The drops can change. Some of them are random and some of them change based on which boxes you've broken so far. So we needed one more coin, and now there's enough money in our pockets to make it through this stage. That money bag farming is one of the most annoying things about this speedrun as well. Because if you don't get the money bag, it's just run over at that point. Now we get back to our damage boosting business. And that's area B for you. It's probably the easiest stage in the game. Both casually and in the speedrun. And because it's a Natsume game, you gotta have a worm in the game. And the worm just takes like 3 or 4 hits to the face with the red vest. I probably didn't mention that the red vest basically doubles your punch damage. So you want to hold on to the red vest for as long as possible. Now we get to the probably the most painful stage in the game when you play this casually. And it's mostly painful because of the couple of flying enemies here, which I'm gonna try to manipulate to leave me alone. Didn't practice this too much, but I hope I got the timing right. Okay, good. So there's... you only saw one of those guys, but there's actually a second guy off screen as well. And if you don't get rid of them, they will be a real pain in the ass, like throughout this screen. And from what I've seen, most people try to rush through and hope that they survive, but they just get completely minced. And here we have our second body bot. I think this was called the boomerang bot. And the only reason why we're getting this guy instead of the grenade guy is that grenade bot needs some, I think they're like frame perfect hits or something, to kill that missile thing under the elevator. But luckily our new friend can take care of the whatever the thing is. And not only does the missile platform make it harder, as there's more things to dodge, but once again we need to reduce lag, so it's good to get rid of him. And this upcoming boss, I think he has the second most health in the game, so we're gonna... Well, I hope my bot survives, but we're gonna use Power Suit against him. If you get the same letter combination as the bot that you currently have on, while the bot is still alive, you trigger this, like, especially super powerful new, well, I don't know what to call it. I just call it the Power Suit. I'm not good with words. So now we got the second combination, and boom, we got the suit on. And only thing restricting us now is the timer that you see in the top middle. And normally this boss would be really hard. Like you can only get like 2 punches in per his jump cycle or something stupid like that. But when you have the Power Suit on, you can just completely destroy him. Normally that middle stage is probably the hardest. Well, except for the final stage. So, when you start thinking of annoying gimmicks in NES games, you probably start thinking like, yeah, the water stage is pretty nasty and maybe the ice stage as well, but here we have a stage which combines both of them. Luckily the game doesn't have the worst swimming mechanics on NES, but it's still not a fun time to have both mechanics featured. So in this stage especially we want to keep the red vest as long as possible. Because there's an upcoming section with, well, coming right in like 10 seconds with a bunch of fans. And normally the fans take 8 punches to kill. But with our vest it should only take, well, it does only take 4 hits. And the annoying part here is that you need to keep jumping when you punch, otherwise the fan will push you into the spikes. Killing fans. Yeah. Get rid of the most rabid fans. Nah. But yeah, here we have the water part. And luckily you can move quite smoothly in here. A lot of people complain about these mechanics, but I personally think that they're just fine. So all you have to do is just turn around to kill the momentum. And now we got our third robot body, who is the... I don't know if it's the samurai. But our new friend will help us against this diver boss. Because this boss fight is really painfully slow. Painfully slow if you try to kill it with fists. But this robot can stun lock the boss against the wall, and it basically doesn't get to do anything at all. And now we get to the last stage. This is the stage that's unique to the American version of this game, or well, the American and EU version. Because the Japanese version doesn't have this stage, as they got some circus stage instead. But you can definitely tell why this stage isn't in both versions, because it's significantly harder than the Japanese counterpart. And it also features quite a lot of lag, as you'll probably notice in a moment. Because we have these flying alien fetuses going around. Totally normal in a world of cyborgs. But the slowdown you're seeing is just as bad as it looks. Okay, well, I didn't want to take that hit. But playing it a bit slower and should be fine. Hopefully. Really wouldn't want to die in this screen. Okay, despawn the guys from behind, so it should be fine. Should be fine now, because this stage also features a hidden power-up back here. So you get full 3 vest charges. And this guy has the most health out of all bosses in the game, and I wish someone could route a way to get a power suit against this guy. But currently it just doesn't seem realistic. As you can see, you just have to get the punching rhythm down, so it at least goes a tiny bit faster. And now we're only down to the very final stage, which is like significantly harder than any of the stages that we've been through so far. And as in the first game that I played today, this game also features a boss rush in the final stage. And are there any other runners besides me and Clage? There's a couple of new faces, but they haven't really grinded the game too hard yet. I think there's one new Swedish runner who submitted this to ESA, so you might get to see this there as well. And yeah, this music is also once again a really killer tune. So this stage features just the correct amount of letters that we need for 3 different power suits. It would probably be faster not to get like so many extra letters, but it also refreshes the health of your robot friend. So that also makes it worth getting. So the first boss refight we had was the M. Bison again. And he's just the same pushover as in Area A. but since the next boss isn't a pushover at all, we're gonna get a second power suit once again. Because we got our good buddy Samurai back in business. Oh, we got more trolls. Gotta love the persistence. And now we get to experience the gravity mechanics all over again. And here's a gameplay feature that I haven't used at all so far. You can grab onto the bot and throw it away. There's also a feature where you grab onto the bot and you can use the bot to lift off. But sadly that doesn't get used at all in the speedrun. And it really isn't that useful for a casual playthrough either. So we got our good ghost friend back as well. And remember when I said that no one runs this game because of this guy? Well, how about having this guy twice? And this late into the game. It's basically quite the speedrun, full of luck as well as execution. So now we finally got the checkpoint of this stage, believe it or not. This stage doesn't have any other checkpoints besides after you beat that guy. So when you don't really know how to play this game properly yet, it's quite the painful trip to get past that boss. And now we're on the final climb, which is also not very friendly when you got the nerves going, because it's very easy to slip off of these platforms. And now we're already onto the final boss, who, surprise surprise, is the bigger brother of M. Bison, and he has also learned to master this robotic art, and accidentally stood inside of him. Shouldn't matter. But even if he has a bunch of weapons, he hasn't figured out how to create one that hits right next to him. So this boss is very easy to beat, even if you have just your fists to use. Oh, I forgot to end the time. But that is basically it. That is Shatterhand. And now we got the final boss fight. Will our body bot survive? Ah man, he died. Rest in peace, body bot. For some reason they chose to let the bot still take hits while you're invulnerable. And then you have the big explosion and the greatest celebration of all time. I don't know who these people are, but I'm glad that they're happy that I'm done. Yeah, I want to thank Retrothon for giving me an opportunity to showcase a couple of games that I love, and games that I think should get more love in the future as well. Thank you all for hanging out, and for the GGs. Yeah, I think we have both of the Bomberman games coming up next, so I'll leave it to OWG, and peace out.